we spend a large amount of time in managing data consumption.
Using their own money and a family loan, Jim Johnson and his wife Kim started a company and took it from 6 employees to 100. Mobile Solutions is now a thriving tech company, repeatedly winning awards for growth, leadership, and customer satisfaction. In part 1 of this episode of UpTech Report, I talked to Jim, who tells us about realizing the opportunities to address mobile management on an enterprise level and balancing the needs of human interactions and automated systems. Well, thank you so much, Jim, for joining us. I'm excited to learn more about Mobile Solutions, how it got started. Looking here on your LinkedIn profile, from 2011 to now, going from 6 employees to 100 employees, and then doubling your revenue in the last 3 years. Lots of growth has been happening. Take me back to the beginning. Where did it start? 2011. How did it begin?
Yeah, 2011 was the idea was really around, can we drive costs down for customers on their mobility? And we proved that out relatively quick, and we're able to see that was going to be a successful venture. So from there, really what we started to do is wrap our service around the product offering.
Did you bootstrap it right from the beginning? Did you get any VC funding along the way?
No, it was bootstrapped between myself, my wife, and some family loans that we paid back in that first year. That's how we got this thing off the ground.
You must have felt very confident then to say, hey, let's put our money where this goes.
Well, you got to have confidence if you've got an idea and you're passionate about it. So absolutely, I was definitely confident about it.
Over from 2011 till now, obviously, I'm sure there's been some changes and constant evolution. How has it changed from that beginning to where you are now, both with the customers that you're helping and the way you are delivering your service?
Yeah, it's changed. It's completely opposite from kind of what it was. So in the beginning, it was really around, can we drive costs down? And today, what we're doing is full life cycle management. And we've built a product over the last 8 years that really encompasses everything that we're doing.
How many customers are you helping right now? And also, how many devices does that turn into?
I think that last client count that I saw was roughly 480.
Wow. So then the number of devices then being managed.
The number of devices is definitely in the 6 figures. There's a 6-figure plus. So it's a lot.
And does the devices, when you say the managed devices, that wouldn't smartphones for one, but does that include other types of things? Tablets?
It does.
Computers?
So smartphones, tablets, MiFi devices, embedded air cards in tablet or in laptops, correct? IoT devices, machine to machine. So yeah, that all encompasses in our line count.
How do you see the growth, obviously, with IoT exploding in every type of facet of, hey, we want to track this thing, so let's make it IoT enabled. So do you see a growth in then managing those other capacities?
In the last 18 months, we definitely have, yes.
Got it. Moving forward then into your technology behind it, and of course you've got some marketing around this, your brains, Maxine and Maximus, which really it's robotic process automation you're using there. Tell me, just dig into more about your IP.
Yeah, so really, we've got a lot of repetitive tasks that we do around here. And it's not the sexiest job that we offer, that's for sure. And so when we found that there was technology that we could tap into that could complete those tasks without a human touching it, we were very interested. And so we began that process in April. We launched the 2 brains in, I want to say, late May, and have been adding to their tasks every month. So initially we had them completing a couple of requests. Today they're completing more than just 2 requests. In addition to that, they're also starting to complete some of the repetitive internal tasks that are not customer facing. Whereas a team can walk in the morning and all the reports that they manually were pulling normally are all in their in the folder with what they need, so they can just begin their work right when they get in. So, and that'll be an evolving product for us. We'll continue to invest in the brains or the RPAs. Today we have 2. I would say by the end of 2020 that 2 will most likely be 5 or 6, and each brain can handle something like 4,000 requests a day. So we're very excited we really feel like the brains are going to be able to touch every department in this company. At this stage, it's really around it's manpower. We've got to build these brains out. We've got to get them to learn. And in any small business, you know, I don't feel like I have a small business anymore, from 6 to over 100. But you know, resources are always at the top of the list there, and so we want to make sure that we're smart with who we task to manage these today.
So did I kind of understand the story right by you've built a platform where you're helping SMB and enterprise manage their devices, and it was a lot of manpower originally of people entering, keeping track of reports as they came in, but now you've actually built out an automated system that doesn't even require your own people to do it. They manage the system, but it actually will take in the reports and pull it into the systems and run automatically. Am I capturing that story correctly?
You are correct.
Okay, and obviously the future of that's why technology is awesome. Automating things, removing people from simple data entry to what you're redefining then the roles of your team members. How does that transition work? Because I think this is being applied in many different businesses right now.
Sure. I
How
mean,
have you managed that?
retaining top talent is important, right? And I'm not going to retain top talent if I'm not investing in technology, and if I'm asking these individuals, these bright individuals, to do these you know, just repetitive, time-consuming tasks over and over again. And so that it's first and foremost, that part is more important than anything else. We want to retain the people that we have, and we want to make sure that they are working on items that are important to the business. Now, those repetitive tasks are important to us, clearly, but it's we want to make sure that our people are challenged, I guess, is really what it comes down to. And by alleviating thousands of requests and having the bots or the brains, as we're calling them, having the brains handle those requests, we're able to reassign that talent into other areas so that they're making more of a meaningful impact on the overall company.
So just within 6 months or so, you've been able to build out these two brains, these two bots.
Yeah, the two brains are one of the brains is almost our top ticket producer today. So it's rivaling our number one individual.
And digging into the technology a bit more, are you using like existing like Azure cloud or Google products to utilize some of that technology, or open source? What route did you go?
AWS.
AWS. Okay, so you went to Amazon. Nice.
Yeah.
And reason for going that? That's why I'm always curious. There's kind of the three major players.
Yeah.
Is there a preference? Pricing?
I left it up to the people who are much smarter than me, so my CTO made that decision.
Nice. Now, obviously, the future, building more of these means faster ability to import reports and serve your customers, and then repositioning your team members for customer support. Is that probably the biggest area?
I would say repositioning those individuals to other areas of the business, and probably less away from or more away from support. We really want to make the majority of the support requests or the MACDs that we're getting today. We want to automate all of those. Now, clearly, we have a lot of customers that will call in. So the bots we're not going to do that. You know, we're big on customer service. We lead with customer service. We all talk about how great our people are out in the market, right? You know, part of our sales process is letting our customers experience that before they make a decision to work with us. So we'll never take away that human interface from our customers. That's a big part of why we're successful today.
With the, as you mentioned, you're kind of that forefront interaction with your end customers. They don't need to deal with the carriers. You play that role. What other types of integrations or partnerships have you developed then that really have made your system take care of that automation and seamless service?
Sure. We have SMS integrations where we're pinging individual users if they're abusing their devices. We have integrations with ERP systems. So from an accounting perspective, we're automating the expensing of the invoice. And so there is no manual data entry for our customers. We're alerting managers out in the field. They're the people that fall under their purview, what their usage looks like. Because at the end of the day, in our world today, very different than it was back in 2011. In 2011, we were managing how many minutes you were using, how much text messaging was using, and how much data was being consumed because data was expensive. Yeah. Well, fast forward 8 years, minutes are unlimited, texting's unlimited, and data, for the most part, what you see today is unlimited. In the corporate world, in the enterprise world, not so much. It's not as cost effective. So we spend a large amount of time in managing data consumption.
Data definitely is the main driver today, and obviously going into 5G soon. Do you see anything changing with how you have to manage?
Well, we're curious to see what the plans are going to look like, because we do believe that consumption of data is going to double, triple, quadruple, immediately. And so we're kind of waiting for the industry to evolve so that we can start wrapping a managed service around what that's going to look like. I don't see that the model's going to shift too much, because we already manage data in real time. That's one of our unique capabilities in our marketplace. And so I think that just becomes that much more important, that it's being managed in real time and we're not reacting to invoices with large overages. We're able to catch that mid-cycle and make those adjustments before the invoice cuts.
Got it. That's smart. How does have your plans and packages for your customers evolved, and what do they today look like?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. When we first started, it was really, if we save you X amount of money, then we get paid X amount of money. It was a percentage essentially of savings. And then we guaranteed those cost savings. So we were a little different in that we had a lot of skin in the game around that guarantee. Today, it's very different. We don't charge a percentage of savings. We have 4 different bundles that we go to market with. We have our traditional mobile expense management, which we call our value package. The next package up is called our standard package, and all this is available on the website. The standard package is the value package, and in addition to that, we wrap that lifecycle management. So the staging and kitting on the front end, where we're procuring devices in our facility, we might be wrapping an accessory screen protector on that device. We're provisioning that device with the security and applications that specific user needs in the field, and then we're shipping that device out with instructions on exactly what to do. What we found our customers are busy. IT departments continue to shrink. They don't have the resources internally anymore to be able to do this. And so those devices tend to sit around for a couple of days, which means the individual in the field is not being supported. And so customers see that value around our staging and kitting services. And then on the back end, it's really around recycling those devices. Device costs have skyrocketed since 2011. In 2011, most of the product was free. As long as you were willing to sign it to your contract, the carriers were willing to just hand you a device. Well, fast forward 8 years, and we're talking about Apple products, $1,600 iPhones, right? And so what are we going to do with that device when it's reached end of life? We don't want to, there you go, there's your iPhone. What are we going to do with that device if the screen breaks, or if the speaker's broken? We're trying to, we want to drive as much money back to the organizations. We want to get them the value of that device as it stands that day, and not let it, traditionally what you'll find is it's just going to get thrown in a box at somebody's desk and it's going to be forgotten about. And maybe once a year they'll recycle those devices, but they're actually not monetizing it. So we have to kind of a long story short here, we've wrapped a managed service around recycling those devices and then being able to provide a decent amount of credit back to their accounts for the value of the device. So that kind of wraps up our value.
Gotcha.
We've got our secure package, which is the value package plus what we call UEM, Unified Endpoint Management. And so we partnered with several of the organizations in the marketplace like Maz 360, 42 Gears, AirWatch, the list goes on. All of those are in the Magic Quadrant. And so we're managing that UEM process for customers. Again, we go back to IT departments, and the resources are shrinking, which means they won't be able to adequately support a UEM product. So we're managing that security for those customers. We're managing those instances. And then our Pro product, that would be our 4th bundle, that's everything, right? So that's going to be your MEM, your mobile expense management, your staging and kitting and your device recycling services, and then your UEM solution.
Got it. Be sure to check out part 2 of our conversation with Jim, in which he tells us about some of the biggest mistakes he made early in his career and the important methods he relies on to nurture his company.